We are here. We made it where it's still misting in the air. Philadelphia, Lincoln Financial Field, the site of the showdown of the season, the regular season in the NFL. The 49ers and the Philadelphia Eagles. A rematch of last season's NFC title game. Of course, this was a house of horrors for the 49ers last season in the NFC title game. Just a few plays in, Brock Purdy tore his UCL, and the 49ers' chances were essentially extinguished at that point. A lot of other stuff happened in that game. Nick Bosa got hurt on the sideline when he wasn't even in a play, hit by the Philadelphia gunner. It was not the 49ers' day. Today, the 49ers hope it is their day. They hope it's a lot different than last season. The 49ers are 3-point favorites in this game. This is history. The Philadelphia Eagles are the first team in NFL, AFL history, and by that I mean since the merger between the NFL and the AFL, the Eagles are the first team to be a 10-1 home underdog. So can the 49ers get it done? Well, I think the weather might actually smile on them today. The favorite wants relatively dry weather. As you can see, it's misting in the air here in Philadelphia, so it is not dry, but it is not pouring rain. The worst of that storm system has moved north of us, and kickoff is not until 4:25 p.m. Eastern time. It's about 1:35, 1:40 p.m. Eastern time right now. It is expected to get better and better. I don't think we'll ever see the sun today, but the weather is expected to improve and stay relatively dry. So no, Brock Purdy will not be wearing a glove, and the 49ers will try to play this as close to serve as possible. And that's what happens if it indeed is not pouring down rain. So we're going to go with the stadium tour here. We're going to pan. We're going to take a look at the seats. It's the first thing that we do, right, is take a look at your typical seat in Lincoln Financial Field, which was opened in 2003. This place replaced the old Veterans Stadium, which was on this spot. They've got a nice little sports complex here in Philadelphia. They've got the hockey arena, which is also the basketball arena, the Wells Fargo Center next door, and then right past that north end zone, you can see, but I mean, you can't see it very well because it's just such a gross, gloomy day. You can see Citizens Bank Park, which is the baseball stadium where the Philadelphia Phillies play. Veterans Stadium, the spot where the Eagles used to play, by the end, that place was a dump. That place was rat infested, but it was one of the toughest places to play in the league. And this is not an easy place to play either. Philadelphia fans have that reputation. We talk about throwing snowballs at Santa Claus. That happened at the old Veterans Stadium. But this is the new one, opened in 2003. It's seen a Super Bowl champion. The 2017 Eagles beat the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl. They did not see a Super Bowl champion here last year, despite beating the 49ers in the NFC Championship game, because the Eagles went on to lose to the Kansas City Chiefs. Again, it's misting lightly, but it looks like it's not going to be downpouring rain. In fact, they're expecting it to, I think, the misting even to end by this afternoon, but we'll see. It is the afternoon here on the East Coast as I take you to the top row of the upper deck, as is tradition. So it is wet. I'm not saying it's dry here in Philadelphia as I'm walking to the top row. It is definitely wet. It is nasty, and it is, I guess, football weather, as you would say. Conditions were actually better, I thought, for the NFC Championship game, which was deeper in winter. We're technically not even winter yet here in early December. We're still in fall. But yeah, that weather is not good. I'm going to be under a rain overhang here, though, as I work my way up, all the way to the top of the upper deck. If you're just joining, if this is your first stadium tour, this is tradition. Every single 49ers game, I head to the top of the upper deck and give you the view from the nosebleeds. I have made it. Stadium is behind me. Those are the nosebleeds. And now we're going to flip the camera and see outside the stadium, because we've made it to the top. As you can see, but not literally, visibility is bad. So as you can't see, visibility is bad. There's the tailgate scene. There's Wells Fargo Arena. That is where the Philadelphia Flyers and the Philadelphia 76ers play. You could tell that some of the VIP parking is still not full because those fans have not yet arrived. I'll pan this way. This is what you get from the very top row of the upper deck. Now we have a better view of it. That right there beyond the end zone stands is Citizens Bank Park, where the Philadelphia Phillies play, where the San Francisco Giants won the 2010 NLCS. That was Cody Ross, right? Cody Ross for the San Francisco Giants. That was their first World Series in San Francisco. Now the 49ers, they've won their share of games at Veterans Stadium and Lincoln Financial Field. I'm not sure when their last win here at Lincoln Financial Field was, but I remember the old dynastic 49ers. You go back to 1997. They had a big win here. Merton Hanks had a fumble return for a touchdown. Merton Hanks did the chicken dance, of course, for the 49ers. That's what he was famous for. He had that long neck. That happened at this site, not in this stadium. That happened at the old Veterans Stadium in the late 1990s. But the vet is gone. The new stadium is here. It is Lincoln Financial Field. The 49ers have arrived. We have a few players on the field. I can't tell if those are Eagles or 49ers. I think those might be Eagles. The 49ers will be coming out of their locker room over in the far corner, and they're going to try to avenge what happened to them last year in the NFC title game. All right, let's flip this camera back out of the stadium. Let's see what's going on in the Port of Philadelphia, which is ahead of me. Sorry, the gimbal is shaking a little bit. I don't know why. Gonna have to settle that gimbal down. Gimbal's nervous about this game. How's everybody doing back in California? I know a lot of you probably not in California. I think we probably have people from everywhere. There are not high winds. The gimbal was just trembling. So it is again. I don't know what the hell's wrong with it. Look, it's not like the crowd is in here roaring. It's kind of funny. Some of you might get motion sickness, but the gimbal is like protesting. In fact, if I'm going to continue this show, I might have to go handheld. I did not think this thing would be shaking like that. You know, sometimes when you watch these big games and it's third down and the crowd is roaring, it starts to do what the gimbal was doing just a little while ago. I think it's settled down now, right? Yeah, that's a really nice shot. I mean, this is what you get from the upper deck. It's not a bad stadium. Again, it was built in 03. It's funny how quickly these things age, though, right? These things, 20 years seems like the end of the lifespan for a lot of these NFL stadiums. The Titans built theirs 23, 24 years ago. They're going to be replacing it. Levi Stadium is in its 10th season. It's definitely not a spring chicken anymore. Doesn't have that new stadium feel, that's for sure. The newer ones like SoFi, Atlanta, those have all stolen the thunder as being the new modern places to play in the NFL. And Lincoln Financial Field here in Philadelphia is even older than those stadiums. These tickets, somebody said it costs $450 to sit in these seats right at the upper deck. Well, it's a big game. What can you expect? Again, the Eagles are the first ever 10-1 underdog since the NFL-AFL merger. So it's a big game because a 10-1 team, best record in the NFL, is an underdog here at home. The fans are going to be loud. 49ers have to come here into the Hornets' nest and try to get a win to move a game closer to that one seed. Now, with a win, they wouldn't be in that first position. They would only be one game behind Philadelphia. And the Eagles play the Cowboys next week. So there's still a lot of season left to be played. And the 49ers need to just take this one game at a time. I'm sure that will not be a problem this week here in Philly because this game comes with a little extra motivation of avenging what happened on that field last year. And that was the Brock Purdy injury. It was a brutal, brutal turn of events for the 49ers, and this is their chance to get back at the Eagles. I'm going to be heading down to the field here pretty soon. I'm going to be checking out what the 49ers are feeling like in the locker room, outside in the tunnel. Obviously, I'll have the boombox video later. We're going to have a lot of content here from Philadelphia. The Eagles injury report is interesting because we're not sure if Fletcher Cox is going to play. They were saying game time decision for the defensive tackle who has obviously been a fixture on that Eagles defensive line for a while. Look, here we got the shaking again. Take a look at that shaking, back and forth. It's like the invisible crowd is roaring. The invisible crowd roaring here in Philadelphia. It's third down, look at that. You're gonna see that today on third down for the 49ers. Brock Purdy is gonna have to find a way to overcome. It's funny. Anyway, we'll get the gimbal figured out for next time. This time, I think it's a cool touch. I think this shaking is emulating what we're about to see in Philadelphia. Anyway, Lincoln Financial Field, the home of the Philadelphia Eagles, South Philadelphia. We're right by all other sports complexes. Bay Area teams have won big games in this area before. Like I said, Citizens Bank Park is right behind me. You can barely see it. It's enshrouded in that mist. Citizens Bank Park is where the San Francisco Giants won the NLCS. They won games 1 and 2 and 6. I think they might have lost game 2. I don't remember. Yeah, I think they lost game 2, but they won game 6, that's for sure. Juan Uribe hit that home run. And now the 49ers are going to be trying to win a game here, a regular season game. It's not the end of the world if they don't win, but there are a lot of stakes for sure in this regular season matchup against the Eagles. Those of you wondering about the weather, yes, it is wet. It's very wet, but it's not quite raining. It's just kind of misting. The main storm system is north of here, and they're expecting by the time the kickoff hits in about 2.5 hours, they're expecting this weather to improve a little bit. Right now, it's gloomy, it's nasty, it is not particularly nice. You could see it dripping here from the rafters at Lincoln Financial Field. We can scroll down here to the Miller Lite flight deck, spelled with a PH instead of an F. The flight deck, do you get it? Philly flight. And we can see the stadium. No rain would be indeed a good thing for the San Francisco 49ers. All right, music is playing. That's my cue to go eat some food. It will be time for me to take off. Hopefully you enjoyed the stadium tour. Over 500 of you here now. We will talk to you soon. I'm headed down to the field, then the press box, then the locker room. So subscribe to the channel, like the video, hit the notification bell, and we'll talk to you all very soon. 49ers Eagles coming up in just a couple hours. It's a big one here from the city of brotherly love.